you ever had a love for someone or something so great, but even though you never talked to them or experienced a situation before, all you knew was that you loved that person or that thing? Well, what if you were too knowledgeable to know how to deal with it, and it made you avoid dealing with the situation or that person that you loved? We experienced this in the love song of Alfred, Prufrock, and T.S. Eliot's poem. Let us go then, you and I, when the evening is spread out against the sky, like a patient etherized upon a table. Let us go through a certain half-desert street, the muttering retreats of restless nights and one night, cheap hotels and sawdust restaurants with oyster shells. Streets that follow like a tedious argument of insidious intent, to lead you to an overwhelming question. Oh, do not ask. What is it? Let us go and make our visit. In the room the women come and go, talking of Michelangelo. The yellow fog that rubs its back upon the window panes, the yellow smoke that rubs its muzzle on the window panes, licked its tongue into the corners of the evenings, lingered upon the pools that stand in drains, let fall upon its back in the soot that falls from the chimneys, slipped by the terrace, made a sudden leap, and seeing that it was soft October night, curled once around the house and fell asleep. And indeed there will be time, for the yellow smoke, the side along the street, rubbing its back upon the window panes, there will be time, there will be time. To prepare a face to meet the face that you meet, there will be time to murder and create, and it's time for all the works and days of hands, the lift and drop a question of your plate. Time for you and time for me, and time yet for 100 incidents, and from 100 visions and revisions before the taking of the toast and tea. And indeed there will be time to wonder, do I dare? Do I dare? Time to turn back and descend the stair, with a bald spot in the middle of my hair. My morning coat, my collar mounting firmly on the chin, my necktie rich and modest, but asserted by a simple pin. Do I dare disturb the universe? In the minute there is, for decisions and revisions, within a minute will reverse. For I have known them already, known them all, have known the evenings, mornings, and afternoons. I have measured out my life with coffee spoons. I know the voices dying with a dying fall, beneath the music from a farther room. So how should I presume? And I have know the eyes already know them all. They fix you in their formulate phrases. When I am pinned and wiggled against the wall, then how should I begin? To spit out all the but ends of my days and ways? And how should I presume? And I know the arms are already known, them all, arms that are a bracelet and white and bare. It is perfume from a dress that makes me so digress. Arms that lie along a table or wrapped around a shawl. That should I then presume. And how should I begin? Shall I say I have gone at dusk through narrow streets and watched the smoke that rises from the pipes of lonely men in shirt sleeves leaning out of windows? I should have been a pair of ragged claws scuttling across the floor of silent areas. The afternoon, the evening sleeps so peacefully, smooth but long fingers, asleep, tired, or at manglers. Stretched on the floor, here beside you and me, should I, after tea and cakes and ice, have the strength to force the moment to its crisis? But though I have wept and fast, wept and prayed, though I have sinned my head, balled it upon a platter, I have seen the moment of greatness flicker, and I have seen the internal footman hold my coat and snicker. And in short, I was afraid, and it have been worth it all After all, after the cups and marmalade, the tea, among the porcelain, among some talk of you and me, would it have been worthwhile to have bitten off a matter with a smile, to have squeezed the universe into a ball, to roll it towards some overwhelming question, to say, I am Lazarus, come from the dead, come back to tell you all, I should tell you all. If one settling pillow by her head should say, this is not what I meant at all, this is not what I meant at all. And would it have been worth it all, after all? Would it have been worth the while, after the sunsets and the dooryards and the sprinkled streets, after the novel and the teacups, after the skirts that trail along the floor, and this and so much more? It is impossible to say just what I meant, but if imagine lantern through the nerves, patterns on the screen, would it have been worthwhile?